Yo.
Yo.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally the moment I press start stream, then he said he can't make it. Like, what?
Yeah, I guess one thing he can do better for sure is like tell us earlier.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know that you're not gonna be available, right? You can just tell us like at least like 1 or 2 hours earlier, right? So we don't have to be so rushed.
Yeah, but it's alright. Late for me, not a big deal. Him can catch you anyways. But yeah, it's probably better if you can tell us earlier next time.
I mean, it's just courtesy, to
Mm.
inform, especially when you know that you are definitely gonna be late. Like, this is not like something that popped up like 5 minutes ago, that kind of thing.
Yeah. By the way, no. So Fresh P5 is Sasha, is it? And then Kitty is Raw Flames.
Rough Flames, Nina.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is Hiku, Love, Miho and me, the four of us, we haven't touched DSR for like a year. So it might like first few sessions might be like P2 and P3 derusting. Especially like some of us we didn't use PF strat. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually PF
Definitely.
strat is a lot easier than the very old strats. Like when the fight first came out, the strats were a lot more monker.
Yeah. Yeah, my group at P3 we did I think PF does East Hawk or whatever, right? What
Yeah.
my group does the opposite of PF.
So you all like face west, is it?
Yeah, and we have the boss face. So the rationale was, I think, because we didn't want the boss to rotate. That's why we have the boss facing
Oh, okay.
south instead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can do that also. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's just opposite. That's all. What else? Second trio in P2, we did East West relative, I think, but I think PF does Dark Knight relative.
Second second
Um,
trio for sanctity.
the
How will you do east west relative though?
Um, yeah, basically the same as Amelia. Yeah, yeah. So the thing about East-West relative is all you have to do is I actually forgot already, but I think you just go East-West and then you look at where the knight look, and then you will always have the same movement, either clockwise or counterclockwise. That's the part that I think is easier than the Dark Knight Relative. But Dark Knight Relative is in general it's just one movement, but you kind of have to figure out the safe spot.
But if you are going east west relative, wouldn't the first limit card do like more damage? Or
Yes, yes, exactly. So that's
oh, okay.
why we have extra mids there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, Dark Knight Relative is probably the more optimized strat, sure.
It it
And
places less burden on the mitigation.
yeah. And for meteors, I think my group does, right? If the person with the marker have to swap, the pair swap as well.
Person. Oh, the pair swap as well.
Yeah, the pair swap as well. Yeah, yeah. And
Wouldn't
I
that
think we,
be that's a lot of movement.
yeah, it's more movement, but theoretically, like the more we think about it, it's a bit easier somewhat because the way we did meteors was we kind of said like fuck you to both the tanks and make them adjust. Like
For meteors.
yeah, 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 like you know how let's say if there's a pair of swaps, right? There's gonna be
Yeah.
empty towers. So we make it such that, right? The the meteor's runner will always take north or south towers, right?
Ah.
And then the way we do it is we have the tank adjust to the meteor runners. So like let's say if I'm D2, right? So my meteors is southeast and I'm the south meteor runner. So the south tank will have to adjust towards southeast towers. Yeah. I'm not sure how PF does it though.
Uh, PF is the the meteors will always be resolved north south,
Mm,
and then for the pairs, right,
mm.
the the row that is not taking meteors will be taking uh one tower clockwise from their cardinal position. So if let's say I'm
Ah,
ST, right, I'm like technically the south pair. So
yeah.
if let's say somebody the DPS has a meteor, right,
Mm,
then the DPS comes to south, soak the ice with me. So
Yeah.
when I take the first set of towers, right, I will be wait, how do I say
You
this?
you run in, I think.
Yeah, I will.
Let's say
Yeah,
you have
correct.
to run in.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
run in. Then the second set of towers, I will be soaking the southwest tower.
Ah, okay, okay. I
Yeah.
understand. Okay, okay.
So it's a bit easier if you think of it as color coded
Yeah,
because of the
yeah,
waymarks,
yeah, yeah. That's definitely easier.
and we don't
And what
have
else?
the pair. We don't make the both pairs like swap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I think P4 should be the same. Yeah, the eyes is pretty much the same. G5,
yeah,
Wrath, and Death, all the same.
it's quite fixed.
Uh,
You can't really like have much variation in strats when it comes to those two phases.
yeah, yeah. P6. I think first tethers the PF does triangle, right? Triangle tethers, which I
I
think
think
is
it's
superior.
triangle. I
Yeah,
remember
triangle is
last
superior.
time is like they line up in the middle.
The three lines, oh, man,
Yeah,
PF
it's
does triangle, yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because three lines is too precise for such a high risk phase, unforgiving phase. And what else? Raw flames is the same.
yeah,
The Okay, so one thing I really didn't like about my group's P6, one of the strat, right, is when we pass the Nisi or whatever it's called, the
yeah. The heaven,
The Mortal
the
Vow.
mortal vow.
yeah, Mortal Vow, yeah. I really hated that. Um, so the final Mortal Vow pass, right, is after Nidhogg lands in the middle, right?
Yep.
Um, so my group make it such that the final pass will have to be at so normally the group will like group up far south at the edge of the map, right?
Yep.
So the easy way to just do the mortal vow is just have the pair stay and then everyone run in to hit Nidhogg and Haze Vilgar, right?
Yeah.
But
That's the usual strat.
that's the usual stuff. So what my group make us do, right, is we have to walk the pair have to walk in a bit to stand on the waymark. And the reason that is because are you streaming Vero?
Yeah.
Oh,
I should
yeah,
just
yeah.
I should stop.
Turn it off first before I talk shit.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, is it off?